I was running an event, a camp out event back in 2011, in August of 2011, and that was when I had my very first sighting of a Bigfoot. Was at that event, and I was not looking for it. Me and another guy was walking down to a river, and this thing, we heard a snap crack and looked over, and there is this thing walking just along the wood line.
Welcome to High Strangeness, where we ask questions and explore all that is strange and unexpected in our reality.
Randy Hutchings. How's it going, my friend? How are you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you, man?
Not bad, not bad. I'm excited to find out about what you have going on out there. Tennessee Cryptid Campout. That sounds pretty cool. It really does sound
Thank
cool.
you. Appreciate that.
So, I mean, I always talk to my wife. I'm a few years here from being retired. And once I am, I said, we're going to go around the country checking all these things out because there's too much coolness going on out there that, I get to experience it through this a little bit, but that's not enough. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, it seems a little different, right? Like, there's conventions and there's different things. And so when I ran across Campout, I thought to myself, oh, I got to get more information on this. This is pretty cool. So I want to ask you, I've got some questions that I want to run through, and then we'll also get into the camp out and what you have going on there. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Awesome. All right, let's talk about Tennessee for a minute. Like, for people who've never been there, what's Tennessee like?
Well, my part of Tennessee is right on the edge of the Cumberland Plateau. And the Cumberland Plateau is one of the most wild, it's one of the wildest, feralest stretches all the way to Alabama, all the way up to Kentucky, wilderness areas that there is in my part of the state.
That's pretty cool. Are you outdoorsy?
Oh, yes. Very much
Nice.
so.
They couldn't be any better, right? Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous
Yeah.
here.
Well, so in terms of like cryptids and that sort of thing, like why Tennessee? Like, what do you think is it about that region that seems to be kind of a hot spot for some of this lore and unexplained stuff?
Well, again, in my region, we have one of the cave heaviest regions in eastern United States. Over 20,000 caves in just about a 6-county region.
Wow.
And most of them are undocumented, or don't even have names. But between the caves and just all the wilderness and stuff, I think it's a really good, it's remote. The sides of the plateau have never been developed, so you might see a road going up them, but you don't see any kind of like buildings on the sides of them. I think it's just a very remote area where things could still get by, and not be seen.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny when I think of caves, when I've been outdoors and run into them, I get nervous by them because, well, at least here in Utah, sometimes you have mines, and so I'm always worried I'm gonna drop and then become a fossil. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to fall into one of those. Are your caves related to mining, or are they natural caverns?
oh, they're natural caverns. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
water running through limestone mostly.
Yeah, I mean, now when you like to go and do the outdoors, is caving part of the things you like to do, or do you just more
If you
like?
grew up around here, you're totally into caving. Yeah, as a kid, my mom's boyfriend actually was the first one to ever take me out caving. I think I was about 12, 13 years old. I took my son for the first time when he was about 12 or 13 years old. There's just so many caves around this region that if it's just a part of the outdoors that you just kind of, you embrace.
Yeah. Sorry to spend more time here. I am fascinated by caves. So, like, with the caves that you've seen and run across, are they like just a space that you go in and you can see in there, or is it kind of traverse through a mountain? Or I mean, what does it do? Or is it all
Some of
over
the
the
caves
place?
around here, there's a show cave just outside of my town that I live in. It's the second largest cave in all of Tennessee. I think it's 27 miles.
What?
We've got several caves that people go explore that are several miles long. There's a cave in Tullahoma, Tennessee that goes. It's got a hole in one side of the mountain, goes completely. I think it's 7.5 miles total, but you'll end up out the other side of the mountain.
Wow.
They're
That's
pretty
cool.
big. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That is way cool. My gosh. Yeah, here we have them in the mountains. I mean, there are things like that, but it's not quite like that. That really sounds like a fun. I mean, I'd be nervous to go in it, but if you're that way, it sounds fun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so cryptids. What kind of cryptids and phenomena are most commonly reported in your area?
Most in my region is Bigfoot. I have over the years, I've been a Bigfoot field investigator since 1998. I started with the BFRO, then over to the GCBRO, but now doing it for my own self with the 40, what we call 40 in Tennessee, here in Tennessee. And I've taken over 130 sightings just in Tennessee alone over the last, almost 30 years.
Wow.
And so many stories that are the exact same stories, just miles apart,
Wow. That's amazing to me. So I think like you have a lot of people in this space as I'm just into it. I'm into a lot of strange stuff, but in this space, it seems like there's all kinds of different views on what Bigfoot, Sasquatch might be and where they come from. Do you have any feelings? Do you have any opinions about that?
This kind of goes into the camp out a little bit here in a little bit. But we have a very active area where we've had wood knocks, vocalizations happen to us, going on now for over 10 years in this area, and I have come to this is totally just my own personal belief, but based off things that I've experienced there in that area over those last 10 years, I feel like there's some sort of they're relic hominid, something like that.
Really?
I don't think that they're some dumb ape. I've heard words shouted. I don't know what those words were, but I've heard the word "awa" shouted.
Wow.
And monkeys don't shout words out at you.
Yeah. No, they don't. So intelligent. That's what you're thinking.
Yes,
that's what
definitely.
It seems like I'm hearing more and more. What I just watched something not too long ago where there was an individual. He was military linguistic, and he was putting
Yes.
together sounds. And he said he believes there's language being used.
Yes,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
R. Scott Nelson is who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Unbelievable. Well,
yeah.
so for the listeners, let's get into the camp out a little bit. So what exactly is the experience like? If somebody goes, what would they expect to experience on this?
Okay. Well, one thing that sets ours apart from a lot of these camp out experiences is a lot of times they'll take you to places where there's been sightings. The sightings may have been 10 years before. I've went on one that was 20 years before, but it was an area that was wilderness area where there was the possibility of Bigfoot being, and we have, like I said, we have a very active area, and we decided that we have all these people that are constantly coming up to us and saying, I would love to go out in an area with you guys. I'd love to experience what you guys have experienced. We've taken over 40 people out, and they have heard things that we've, out there in that same area. And so we thought, well, why not just do this on a broader scale? Yeah. We have experience running events off of certain campsites here in Tennessee, and we thought, basically there's no difference in what we were doing with those live events than we're doing with the Bigfoot stuff, except that we're just taking people out to where this stuff has actually happened, where these vocalizations have occurred, where there's been wood knocks, where there's been rocks thrown, logs thrown, things like that.
Well, I love that because, a lot of events, fairs, whatever, they're called different things for different things, whether it's cryptids or UFOs or whatever, it's an offsite. Here, you're taking them right into the belly of
Yes.
the beast in a way, right? So, like, if they're
Yeah.
going to experience something, it's going to be right there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's what we're hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is the first year for this, officially this way. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, sir. It is.
Awesome. And is it you running it, or do you have a group of people that actually are?
The group of researchers that I run with, 40 in Tennessee, we're the ones that's producing it.
Okay.
But we have several guests that are coming, guest researchers. One thing we wanted to do, we decided, if we're going to do this, we wanted to kind of get a dream team of researchers together to actually come and be there on site, where this stuff's happening, to try to maybe catch, thermals or catch images, whatever. Wow. And so we got Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, who's going to be there. We've got Jesse and Joe Doyle of Hellbent Holler, that's going to be there, with all their high-tech gadgets and stuff. We've got who else? There's a lady, and her name is Tresha James. She does sound therapy with crystal bowls, these Tibetan crystal singing bowls. And she actually had a business up on the mountain near where we're having this camp out, where she was doing these Tibetan crystal singing bowls, and she started getting activity happening on her property where it seemed like this family of Bigfoot were coming in and listening to her. Wow. So we've got her she's coming to do a presentation to try to stir up the residents of our group. Yeah. We have Chester Moore from the Dark Outdoors Media. He's going to be there. We've got a whole crew that's going to be there to kind of get everybody involved and really in the thick of it.
That sounds amazing. And that's the cool thing. Like, it's at the right place with the right people with the right equipment. Like, what else could you ask for? My gosh. So, okay, now let's say, the individuals who are going, are they meeting in a certain space and then you guys hike up, or like, how does that work? And do they bring their own tents? How's all that going?
Our site where our active area is just so happens to be next to a group campsite. Nice. We're not giving the exact location out where it's at right now, but we're using that group campsite as a base of operations, and then hiking them out to the active area that's near the group campsite. So everyone that comes has their own cabin, or at least couples have their own cabins. Has electricity, lights, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about hoofing it in a tent.
There is no downside to that, right? Like, if somebody's like, I don't want to really do the whole tent thing. Well, you took care of that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Is this is it 2 days? Tell us the time frame.
It is April the 13th, which is a Monday, to April the 17th, which is a Friday. So they'll come in on a Monday afternoon, and we leave on noon on Friday. And we did that on purpose. We've actually had a couple people ask us, they're like, why didn't you guys do this on a weekend when more people would show up? Mm-hmm. And we actually have noticed that over the years of activity there, that activity dies down during the weekend when there's more people around that group campsite, and the activity goes up during the weekdays when there's nobody hardly there. So we decided to bring them there into the area when there seems to be more activity, in the hopes that there'll be a better chance of experiencing something.
I think that's pretty smart. Yeah, you're right. Like, all the folks out there probably scare anything away with all the racket and stuff and everything going on, and then you guys can be set up and not have all that noise and stuff. What's the size of your group? Do you cap it off at a certain amount, or how do you guys determine that?
We have it capped out at 40 attendants total. Okay. We have right now, because of someone had to cancel their reservation, we have one opening out of that 40.
Nice. Yeah, I mean this is important for people to hear because we'll talk in the end about how people can follow you. Because if for some reason 10 people want to go and all of a sudden one spot's there, then they can follow up for next year and make sure that they get on track for that. Okay, so this, I mean, I'm loving this. This sounds like a lot of fun. Do you have an agenda set up for the days that you're there? Is it pretty casual? Is there a certain time in the afternoon or evening where you guys are getting together to do some of this? Like, how do you see the whole week rolling out for attendees?
Sure. On certain days, I don't have the schedule on me right now, but on certain days we're doing guided tours on the trails, taking people back to, like I said, where the actual activity has happened and occurred. Then we're doing night hikes, several of those nights as well, out onto different trails. There's one trail that the park there has actually they've abandoned it. And the reason they abandoned that trail is because they said they got tired of going out and sawing up all the trees that kept getting pushed down. Yep, on the trail. They got tired of going out and sawing them up. And so we're taking people down that trail at night. That's a new trail that we've got access to this time. We've got the Tibetan singing bowls presentation one night. One night we have a CE5 meditation with Ronnie LeBlanc. So we're I think that's the Tuesday, I believe that is Tuesday night. And then with Hellbent Holler with all their high tech gear, their thermals and stuff, we've got them taking people out so that people could actually see how that gear works in real time into actual active areas, with the gear in the hopes of actually catching something. So.
That's really cool. So if I'm hearing this correctly, it sounds like with the individuals that you have coming there, you've got some top-notch people also coming. They may take one evening, do whatever they're going to do. Maybe they're going to talk about it. Maybe they're going to explain their experiences, and then they're going to lead a group out and then do something. And that's kind of how each night's going to go. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting to me, like the CE5 stuff that LeBlanc's going to do, it's funny, you probably know this, but that is often used to summon UFO and orbs and stuff like that. Is that on purpose that you guys have that like that?
Well, there has been quite a spectacular UFO sighting that happened at this campsite. It was very very long time. It was almost 20 years ago, but there was a bunch of campers that saw two go right over the campsite. It's pretty well known in that place. So we thought, what the heck? It can't hurt.
That's right, yeah. And then maybe, I'm hearing more of this as well. Maybe this is something you guys have seen too. Are you noticing orbs and that sort of thing when there's sightings? Yeah.
Yes.
So it seems like the CE5 also does a lot to kind of open, I call them portals, to open stuff up, to open that up. Yeah, I think that's a really cool additional thing that you're going to have there. I like that. All right. So I think we've kind of answered this, but like one of the questions I had was the camp out. I was going to ask, is it more of an evidence gathering, personal experience, community gathering, or something entirely different? And you're describing like a combination of different things based on the individuals that you guys have coming. So it seems like it's all of the above, but I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, it kind of is all of the above. That's what we're going for. We're trying to really, hit all the marks. Joe Doyle of Hellbent Holler is always saying, that people need to try outside the box stuff more often. So that's what we're really going for. We're hitting on all cylinders with this.
Yeah, I love that. Randy, one of the things for me anyway that I really buy into is not staying in silos. My whole show is about looking at the weird things that interact with different phenomena, because I think there's a thread between that connects a lot of things. I talk about orbs that are found in everything from hauntings to UFOs to Bigfoot and cryptids. And that's a weird thing. Like, why would that be? And I think it deserves some looking, right, to see why. So, yeah, I love that approach to phenomena because I think it allows you to see certain things. So I've interviewed some Bigfoot specialists in the past, and some of them are very, especially the old timers, they're very much structured in this is a primate kind of a thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like evidence is showing that they're smarter than that. They're more than that. But sometimes the people that come from a heavy education space, they're locked in, and it's tough for them to get out of that silo. So yeah, I love that you're doing that. That's really pretty good. Well, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions here in just a minute. But is there anything else you want to tell us about this amazing event that you're going to have going on? If somebody's thinking about this year and next year, and they're going, man, this sounds like well worth it. I don't even have to give up a weekend because I can come during the week and I can do these things. Sell what you're doing, my friend. Sell it.
One thing that we also have going on is we have an on-site cafeteria that will be serving food the entire time. So you don't have to worry about cooking food on a fire.
Man, I'm there for that then.
Yeah.
No, that sounds good. Yeah.
We've got you covered.
Yeah. That is great. You got everything you need right there. Lodging, food, cool experiences, varied experiences, equipment, technology, and subject matter experts. Can't beat that. All right, Randy, a few questions here. Bigfoot or Dogman? If you had to choose which is more likely in Tennessee, what are you going to say?
More likely Bigfoot. Yeah. No doubt in my mind, Bigfoot.
Has there been any Dogman sightings there at all, or is it predominantly Bigfoot?
I have taken a Dogman sighting that happened in Dunlap, Tennessee, and a couple. I've talked to someone that has taken several Dogman sightings over near like the Chattanooga, Hamilton County area, but that's the only Dogman sighting I personally have taken is the one that was in Dunlap.
Yeah. Okay, what is more unsettling? Total silence in the woods or unexplained sounds?
That's a good question.
Both
probably the silence after one of those unexplained sounds happens. like you just heard it, and then it's all quiet, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I know I heard that."
Yeah, and everything's quiet. All the life out there, and just everything.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I like that answer. That's great. Have you, it sounds like probably so, but have you personally experienced something during a campout? Not this one, of course, this is the first one, but on one of your campouts personally that has really seemed, oh man, kind of made you nervous. Goosebumps.
We were running an event. I was running an event, a campout event back in 2011, in August of 2011. And that was when I had my very first sighting of a Bigfoot, was at that event. And I was not looking for it. I was not, nothing like that. Me and another guy was walking down to a river, and this thing, we heard a snap crack and looked over, and there is this thing walking just along the wood line. And it had this element of like confidence to it that I've never experienced in the animal kingdom anywhere else. Like, just we weren't a threat, and it was letting us know that we weren't a threat. And it was frightening. And it just turned and walked into the woods. And so that's actually kind of one of the things that got me all really huge into this stuff, and was having that sighting there.
Hey there, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the like button and please do so. It really helps a young channel like this grow and improve. Thanks, and let's get back to the show. That is, and I'm envisioning that. I'm envisioning this huge thing just kind of saying, what are you going to do? And he keeps walking.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
I love it. Were you at a distance where you could make a call for how big you think it was? I mean, did it look...
We were about 90 feet from it.
Oh, wow, that's pretty close.
It was about 7.5 feet tall. Yeah.
Stout, thick, and everything?
Honestly, the way I try to describe it to people is it looked like if you took an NBA player, like the height and the kind of like athletic build, and then you packed on the muscles of a football player onto that build.
Oh, wow.
Like, so
like a 450, 500 pound thing. That's why I wasn't afraid. That's why it was going, I'm not worried about you guys.
Just didn't care about us at all.
So, general cryptids, do you believe they're flesh and blood creatures, something more paranormal, or something completely different? So, not just Bigfoot, just some of these other cryptids that are out there. Do you have a feeling or an opinion?
I think some cryptids are spiritual in nature. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what time of the night do things seem to get the weirdest? When you're out there looking for these things, is it later, earlier? What do you think?
We've had more things happen between 11 and 2 a.m. than any other time of the night. So
crazy. Set your clock, right? Yeah.
Yeah. My sighting that I had at that campsite was about 1 a.m. So.
Man, I'm stuck at that thought. I keep seeing that picture in my mind of your description. It would freak me out for sure. How about electronics and things like that? Do you guys notice any flickering lights? Anything weird?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had batteries drained, completely drained, like brand new batteries drained. We've had GoPros die on us when they were fully charged. Right before we had a 2-minute sighting where we got some video of something peeking between branches at us from about 60 yards away. And right before that happened, my GoPro, which was completely charged, makes the sound that's dying, and and then that's when we had the sighting of the thing peeking at us. So it was like I don't know how to explain that other than somehow or another they have an ability to drain batteries. And that sounds crazy.
Yeah, this for me is one of the biggest reasons why I think they may have some interdimensionality. I don't know if you share that, but I feel like there's something there that messes with our reality a little bit. So,
yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's one of the first things you would tell a first-time attendee coming to your place? About how they can maximize the experience that they're going to have. Like, what would you say? Just relax and come and enjoy it? Or, hey, make sure you do this or do that?
Yeah, I would say just relax. Especially, like I said, we're going to take them out to areas where this stuff has happened. And when it comes to that, it just comes down to being, patient and listening.
Pretty good. Okay, couple more, 3, and then you're doing great. I appreciate it. So I was going to ask you, have you ever had a situation, you and your investigative group, where you have shut down an investigation where you said, no, we need to go. Something's not right here. Or, because you hear the story that when you're around some of these, especially Bigfoot, where that you can feel this impending fear. Has there ever been anything like that where you guys shut it down and said, this doesn't feel safe, we need to roll?
Yeah, we had one instance where something came down a hill at us, and it sounded like a runaway truck just rolling down the hill through the woods. And it stopped, and we kind of started pushing towards it to see if, and we got that feeling of like, you need to leave. Like just overwhelming, you need to leave. And so we did. We got out of there. We literally didn't even go down the trail to get off the mountain. We actually hit a creek and took the creek down because the creek was a quicker way off the mountain.
Yeah. I think this is an interesting point that, because you have people out there who go, man, I would do this and I would do that. But the truth is people who really experience this stuff have mentioned, and these are outdoorsmen. They're not afraid of things like you guys. And they are like, this makes me nervous. I'm afraid of this thing, whatever it is. And I think people need to have a level of respect for what they might see, in that case. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Do animals, birds, dogs, insects, anything like that seem to react before or after something happens?
We had an incident where we had something that was walking, following us down the trail out of our active area. And I, to this day, do not know how to explain this, but like about 18 crows just show up in the air and are cawing, cawing up a storm, flying around. And this, whatever was following us in the woods stopped. And it gave us this weird impression that the crows had scared off whatever was following us in the woods.
I'm going to tell you something that's really interesting real quick. I read an article of someone, or maybe, I'm not sure where I remember this. This is several weeks or to a month back. AI has been used to try to interpret language and crows. And they believe crows can speak to each other like in distances and basically warn and stuff
I would
like
totally
that.
believe that.
You
Totally
know,
believe
what you describe is like for real, that in
Yeah.
play there. Yeah. Craziness. If someone experiences something during a camp out, doesn't have to be this one, but any, what's your best advice for them? What should they do in that moment?
In that moment, if they can, try to record it. Obviously, if you can. If you can't, try to get what the like I've said, we've taken over 40 people out to listen to these vocalizations and wood knocks and stuff in this area. And if I was at a camp out and I started to hear something, I would try to get someone else to hear it as well, so that you got extra witnesses.
Yeah, exactly. Not just run. I would run. But yeah, I mean, it can be very interesting. So what do you think? Do you think they know they're being observed? Like it sounds
I do.
Probably so. Yeah.
I do. I think ours do. And the family unit that live out there where we go, I really do feel like they. I think that I have this weird feeling that because I ran events on that campsite near this area for so long that they've just got used to me in a weird way, and that's why they're so openly knocking on trees and stuff. 10 years in, I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to tell you about a quick story. Somebody it's my son-in-law's brother. So he goes up to Alaska to help build a cabin on a remote island up there, or part of Alaska. There's nobody up there. There's just beat up cabin. He's paid to go up there and rebuild it by himself. And he sends us, he's up there for a month or two. I can't remember what it was. And he sends his brother, and his brother is my son-in-law, shares this with me, wood knocks. He's out there by himself, and he is freaking out because he can hear them, and he plays it. It's there, and they're communicating with each other, bop, 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 back and forth.
Yep.
And the sound didn't sound like a stick. It sounded like something bigger than a bat hitting wood. And I was like, that's a powerful percussion. It's hard. It's big. Is that what you guys are experiencing out there too?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like someone's got a baseball bat and they're just rapidly, not really rapidly. It's timed.
Rhythmically, yeah.
Yeah. Because we'll knock back. We'll knock back sometimes in 3s or 4s, and they'll knock back in 3s and 4s. And if we do it too, they'll do it too. So
crazy, man. This is well, there you go. All right. This is awesome, man. Thank you for hitting those rapid questions. Thank you for sharing this stuff, Randy. I think it's pretty cool. Now, how can people link in and not only register this time, but just follow what you're doing for future years? Or even try to find a way
easiest way is to 40 in Tennessee on Facebook. We publish all the stuff, like all our coming campouts and stuff like that that are going to be on there.
Love that. Well, as we wrap up here, man, I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to say to the people out there about the Cryptid Campout?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being on here. Let me keep you on the line for a minute. But for everybody else out there, thank you for listening on this. What a cool, different thing you have an opportunity to tie into. Make sure you follow these guys. And hey, when you have a free, not a weekend, but a week in the future, if not this March, maybe next time, make sure you get out here and check this out. These guys not only have a cool thing, there's lodging, there's food, there is experts that are going to show you how they do their research and investigations. And I can't think of a better thing to do. Randy, this is going to be amazing. For the rest of you out there, Tennessee Cryptid Campouts. Sounds like a blast. Make sure you check it out. Thank you. If you enjoy all the variety of topics we look at on this show, do us a favor and subscribe. And hit the like button. It actually does a lot to help our episodes with those interesting YouTube algorithms. Oh, and don't forget, there's a lot of strange and unexpected in our reality. So always keep your eyes, ears, and minds open. And until next time, stay safe.
Thank you for listening to High Strangeness. This was a glance at some of the strange that exists in our reality.